The 4-2-3-1. It's the most used formation in modern football along with the 4-3-3 holding. And in this tutorial video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can get the best out of the 4-2-3-1. So let's dive straight in. As you can see, we have picked Juve for this example, aka the old lady. Starting with the tactical preset, of course, it's custom because as you guys all know that if you want to get certain tactical presets, it won't let you do certain things. All right, so it's better you keep it to custom. The formation is of course the 4-2-3-1 wide. All right, the build-up style in this case, it actually depends on you. If you like to play short passes, you can go with that. Or if you want to build up from the back, if you want to have the best of both worlds, which is of course short passing and counters, you can go for balanced. And if you like to play on the counter, there is also the counter. The build up style, it's completely up to you. The 4-2-3-1 wide and the 4-3-3 holding doesn't have an actual build up style like the 352 or something like that. So for this example, let's keep it to balanced. Okay. And in the case of the defensive approach or the high line, uh, it's actually the same case as the build up style. If you are very good at defending, you can use an aggressive high line like I'm using right now, 100. I always do that. Or if you think you want to play a more defensive version of the 4-2-3-1, then you can get on balanced or you can play an absolute low block. All right. But then if you set it to a low block, you have to change the build up style from balance to counters. These two things in this formation are actually interrelated, if you know what I mean. Uh, if you're playing a low block, it's better that your build up style is set to counter because when you pick the ball up from your own half, you want your players to go straight on their bikes. All right. But if you want to keep things balanced, I would recommend going for a 60, not 50. It's better that way actually, or even 65. It's saying high, it's not balanced, but it's better you keep it on 60 if you want your build up style to be balanced. All right. So let's keep the build up style balanced, also the high line balanced as well in this tutorial. And if you ask me, I like to play always with 100 high line. You know why? Because this 100 highline or the defensive approach aggressive, it actually triggers. I mentioned in my Marcelo Bielsa Murder World video that the aggressive defensive approach, it actually triggers a gegenpress. If you see on that description right there, it says the most front-footed defensive approach, adopting a high line that focuses on applying press once the opponent makes a mistake. So that's gegenpressing. The 100 high line, it triggers a gegenpress and it sets offside traps. If you have fast defenders on the back, then you can go for the aggressive one. If you have slower ones, you can go for high or you can go for balanced. In this example, let's go with balanced with 60, not 50. All right. The build up style balanced as well. Now then, the player rules, the most tricky part of all formation breakdowns video. Um, as it's Juventus, we have I have Patrick Schick, but he's red carded. So I have put Kolomwani up top. And as for his player role, you can get him as he's a sole striker in this formation. You can get him as an out and out fox in the box, which is a poacher with a focus of attack. All right. And behind, there is a playmaker. It's Douglas Lewis in this case. You might ask that Douglas Lewis is a CDM or a center mid. Why are you playing him as a playmaker? Because of his passing stats. You will see in a while. All right. Because of his passing stats, because of his dribbling stats, and also because of his short height and short center of gravity. All right. That's the key part of a playmaker. And as I said in my earlier videos, if you want your playmaker to come back and defend, then you have to put him on a playmaker with a focus on balanced. And if you don't want your playmaker to come back and defend, then put them to a classic 10. Then he will not come back and defend. Alright? Or it is better, as it's a modern game, to keep your playmakers as a playmaker with a focus on balanced. Alright? So now then, the 4-2-3-1 in FC25, you can't actually play one holding midfielder paired up with a box to box midfielder. But there is a solution for that. I'm coming back to the CDMs afterwards. Let's look at the wingers first. It's a left mid and a right mid, not a left winger and a right winger. In this case, Aramola Lukman there, I mentioned that the role winger with a focus on balance, it's actually a wing back. It works in a three back system, but it won't work in a four back system. And the inside forward, I said that he will cut inside automatically. And if you are facing a team who are very dogged in defense or playing a very low block, then it's very hard to get your wingers on the ball. So it's better you play your wingers as wide playmakers with an attack focus. Then what they will do is they will always position themselves in a way that your fullback or your midfielder will always have a passing lane open to your winger. Then, when you are in control of your winger, you can then cut inside, go wide, dribble in, that sort of stuff. All right. On the other side, I have Timothy Weah, of course, the son of the legendary George Weah, the only African player to win the Ballon d'Or, played for AC Milan, played for PSG. So you also have to keep him as a wide playmaker with a focus on attack. Both sides, same thing. He's right footed, but as it's a career mode, he has a 5-star weak foot. So I have no problems with that one. Alright. I think I showed this on my 4-4-1-1 midfield video, this wide playmaker thing. Alright. So you have a sole striker who is a poacher, a fox in the box. You have a playmaker, traditional, and you have two wider players who can go wide or who can cut inside. All right, so that's that. Now for the two DMs. Kebron Thuram, another man whose father is a legend, of course, in Lilian Thuram, played for Juventus as well. Legend of France, legend of Juve. He was a right back. In Kepron Thuram's case, he is a physical brute force, and he's I think 6'3" or 6'4" tall. So you can get him on a holding with a defend focus or a holding with a ball winning focus. But the ball winning focus, as I always say, it has a limitation. All right. And the ball focus's limitation is, or the ball winning focus's limitation is, that he will try and aggressively win the ball back, which will leave gaps in the midfield. He has to run a lot. It's better that you keep him on holding with a defend focus, so he stays back. All right. So keep one of your CDMs on holding with a defend, and the other one. This is the most tricky one because you can't play a CDM paired up with a box to box midfielder. All right. So in this case, I have a Manuel Locatelli. He also has the physicality of Khepran Thuram. I think they are both on the same par, but in the case of Locatelli, his passing range is actually a bit better than Khepran Thuram because uh, he's shorter than Khepran Thuram, and he also has a decent pace. So what you can do is to mitigate that box to box thing. What you can do is you can get this guy on a deep lying playmaker with a build up focus. If you see his green area right there, it's up and down mostly. So with the ball, it looks like this. All right. He will go up, he will come back. All right. As it says an exclamation mark on defensive support, but don't worry about that one. He will come back and defend. Okay. It says that when set to build up, the deep line playmaker will move forward and offer a passing option to support attacks. So when you are on the ball, he will go up, just like a box to box midfielder, like a Luka Modric, like a Kobe Mainu, like a Douglas Luiz, all right, or a Yuri Tillemans. And when you are not on the ball, he will come back, all right. And Kepran Turam, he will hold the midfield to protect the back four, all right. And now speaking of the back four, as I play my most favorite formation, which is the 3-5-2, I actually don't have right backs or left backs. I only have Mikel Gutierrez, but I deploy him as a left midfielder, not fullback, if you know what I mean. But in this case, he is a traditional fullback, by the way. He plays for Girona. But yeah, in this case, to get the best out of Miguel Gutierrez, he has a good pace, good passing, good dribbling stats. Get him on a wing back with a support. All right. Both sides, same thing. Federico Gatti, he's a center back by trade. He doesn't have that much of a brute force of a pace like Miguel Gutierrez, but he can do a job as a wing back with a focus on support. I think he has a 81 pace. So that's fine, I think, for a fullback with of course, 60 high line. I think that's fine. All right. And the two defenders, as you guys all know, I always play my defenders with the role defender with a focus on balanced. Both of them. Or if I'm playing a back three, as I showed in my 3-4-2-1 video, that all three of my defenders are on defender with a balanced focus. Because I want them to be just a defender. Nothing more, nothing less. You can play a ball playing defender. Mancini has a ball playing defender plus plus. Sorry, plus. And he also has a defender plus plus. Bremer, I think he also has a ball playing defender plus. But it's better that you play your defender with a defender role and a focus on balanced. It's better that way. The purpose of a defender is to defend. All right. But let me give you guys a disclaimer here. It's not a disclaimer actually, it's actually a fun fact. If you are in control of your center backs, although they are on defender and with a focus on balanced, you can actually go forward with them. Like a ball carrier, like a Sergio Ramos, like a Bastoni, like a Stefan De Vrij. All right. You can actually play Bremer or Mancini as a ball playing defender, but with a defender and a balanced focus, if I can translate that correctly. And Emi Martinez, it's like a modern game, so keep him on sweeper, keeper, and balanced. So that's what the shape looks like with the ball. As you can see, that you have defensive coverage at the back, you also have defensive coverage out wide, and you also have defensive coverage through the middle with the ball. And without the ball, it looks like this. It's a traditional 4-2-3-1 wide. And if you want to play a box to box midfielder alongside Kepran Thuram, uh, you can just go watch my how to move players video and push Locatelli a bit high, or push your other CDM a bit high, convert them to a CM and put them as a box to box. All right, I'll link that video in the description, how to move players and create custom formations. All right, so that's the 4-2-3-1 wide. The tactical preset custom 4-2-3-1 wide. Build up style, we have kept it balanced this time. Defensive approach, it's of course I have also kept it on balance. I always play with 100, so let's change it up a bit this time. Why not? And as I always do in these kinds of videos, let's go to a game actually. I have Patrick Schick, but he's suspended for the game. So let's play this Champions League match against Slavia Prague. Of course, they're from the Czech Republic. Uh, yeah, yeah, they're rocking their traditional red and white. By the way, as you guys all know, I play on the Anthony James's gameplay mode and Pfeiffer. I also have eSIM. I paired all three. So even if you are playing on the vanilla game, it's fine. No problems. All right. So that's that. So they kick the game off. And straight away, you can see that yeah, we got the ball back there. That's Timothy Weah. As you can see, he positioned himself in a place that there is always a passing option open. By the way, I'm playing on ultimate difficulty, and with Anthony James's gameplay mode, it's actually pretty tough. So there's that. We won the ball back. There's Locatelli. Yeah, there's Kolomwani there. Nice pass. Common shot. Yep. So that's 1-0. As you can see that we won the ball back in the midfield. Locatelli won the ball back actually. He's a CDM. We put him on a deep line playmaker with a build up just for that purpose. So he can win the ball back, push high up the pitch, put the ball into the striker or the playmaker or pass it around and look for options. Alright. So that's that. And as I said, in the vanilla game, it will work. But I'm playing with the Anthony James's gameplay mode, so it's going to be a bit tough. They're passing the ball around looking for options. They're through. That's a nice pass, not gonna lie. Nice cutback. Nice tackle. There's Locatelli. There's a nice pass. As you can see, this guy, there's Gatti by the way. He's our right back. If I pass it to Bremer and if I pass it to Mancini, you can see that you can actually play your defenders as ball playing defenders as Bremer is doing just right now. So yeah, even with a defender and a balanced focus, you can actually play them as ball playing defenders. So Slavia Prague, yeah, as I said, they're from the Czech Republic. That's a nice shot. A Martinez saves. I'm just gonna play the first half like I always do, so it's fine. They take it short. Well, they're looking for options. That was a nice tackle, but we couldn't get that ball. There's also a nice shot. I think that's out for a corner again. Yeah. They're taking it long this time. This Kolomwani. I think that was offside. Yep. So there's Mancini. There's Gatti by the way. As you can see that Timothy Weah there, he didn't already cut inside. He had the option, or he was running uh, through the wide positions. I think that's Miguel Gutierrez. Yep. So let's get in the box. Put a cut back in. Kolomwani. Have a shot. Yep. That's a tussle in the box. But yeah, it doesn't actually happen in the vanilla game. I'm playing on manual and semi assisted controls combined. So yeah, as you can see, that defender, he was under pressure. And the auto shots, the assisted headers, assisted jockeys, everything is off. So we're 2-0 up. And yeah, when they bypass your midfield, it doesn't actually matter because you're playing a balanced defensive approach. That's a nice tackle, by the way. So that's Lookman, Locatelli. Okay, that's Douglas Lewis, not Locatelli. But yeah, as you saw, he comes back to defend because he's on a playmaker with a balanced focus. This 60 high line on balanced, it actually works. No problems with that one. As Timothy Weah. Now we can actually do is with your wingers when they're on the ball, you can try and cut inside, do all sort of stuff. Just like this one. That's Adam Lookman. So he's dribbling past everybody. Now we can do is now we can cut inside. Cut inside just like this. Have a shot, my man. Yep. So you have the option to cut inside. That went wide, but yeah, he's a right-footed player. That went wide. The power was a bit low, but yeah, I think I got my point through. They're going long. Locatelli, yeah, he won the header. So that's Kebran Thuram. That's a nice pass to Lookman. And dribbling past everybody, but can't get past the final defender. Yeah, Slavia Prague, they also are playing on the counter. So there's Bremer. There's Douglas Lewis. Have a shot, my man. That's blocked. I think that's the first half. Yeah. So as you saw, that it's actually a pretty decent or versatile formation. All right. Yeah, handful for defenders. So Kolumani, no problems with that. And as you saw that, as I always do in my formation breakdowns video, let me recap actually. All right. Okay. So the tactical preset, it's custom formation, of course, 4-2-3-1 wide. Build up style completely depends up to you. If you like to play with short passes, go for the short passing. If you want to go for a balanced approach, which is a mixture, as you saw in the first half gameplay footage, it's a mixture of short passing and counter attacks. Or if you want to play like Jose Mourinho, go for the counter. All right. And the defensive approach, same thing. If you want to have a balanced defense, or if you think you are not good enough at defending and you want more players at the back, go for a balanced or a low block. All right. And if you think you are very high quality on defending as an FC player, then you can go absolutely 100. It's fine. All right. But we have kept it this time to balanced. I think it was on 60. Yeah. So that's that. And by the way, as I said earlier, the defensive approach, it also relates to the build up style. The balanced defensive approach and the balanced build up style, the both of them together are well balanced. All right. And if you play a low block, you have to play on the counter because as soon as you win the ball back from the opposition in your own half or your own penalty box, your players already have to be on their bikes. All right. So there's that. And if you want to play short passes, you can go for the high line. All right. The short passes with the high line, it works. It worked with Liverpool. It worked with Ruben Amorim at Sporting. It worked with Pep. It worked with Klopp. Now it's working with Arne Slot as well. Also, it works with the guy from Brentford. I don't know his name, but yeah, you can go for the 95 aggressive or 100 and play short passes. No problems with that one. It's fine. You're going to be spending time mostly on the opposition's half, and you're going to be you're going to have to find spaces. You have to rotate the ball around, that sort of stuff. All right. So let's give it to balanced 60. Yeah. Now for the player roles. You have a sole striker up top, as I said. Give him on a poacher with attack. Have Fox in the box. His sole purpose is to score goals. Nothing more, nothing less. Fine with that one. Douglas Luiz or your Cam, whoever you may prefer, I would prefer you get a playmaker who is short, has a passing stat above 80 or above 75, and a dribbling stat also over 75. Pace doesn't matter. Alright. And yeah, and that short height, it makes the player agile. Alright, as you saw. He had a shot and he received the ball. He went past a player, I think, and he had a shot, but it was blocked by the defender. All right. And as for the wingers, you can play them as inside forwards, but I would insist that you play them as wide playmakers because they will always have a passing lane open for your fullbacks or your midfielders to pass to them. All right. But if you play an inside forward, then what will happen is if Gatti is on the ball and he's running at full pace, when Gatti receives the ball, you will already see Timothy Weah cutting inside. And if you are, as I said, if you're playing a team that's very dogged in defense and very good at man marking, this thing will not actually work that well. All right. It might work for you, but this wide playmaker thing, this one is actually an inside forward, but with an option to cut inside or stay wide. That's that. But the inside forward, if you see his area right there, his sole job is to cut inside, if you know what I mean. I showed you an example with Lookman. He received the ball from Gutierrez. Then Gutierrez or somebody from the midfield, maybe. Then he close control dribbled two players, then cut inside and had a shot. If he was on a inside forward, then that would have happened. Then you had to have Miguel Gutierrez pushing up top as an overlapping fullback to get a cutback to Lookman or look for passing options. Or sometimes what would happen is if you play your wingers on inside forwards, uh, your fullbacks are left all alone out wide because they are already inside. All right. Then your fullback either has to go for a cross in the box or he has to come back and pass it backwards or sideways. You have to rotate the ball. But these three or these four actually, this one, and the striker, these four players are the most dangerous players in your formation, the 4-2-3-1 wide. These six aren't, or seven if you count the goalkeeper. All right, because they are pieces of the puzzle, but these are the guys that get you that win you games. All right, if you have a solid defensive backline, just like I have, and two good midfielders, then these four guys will be very good in the game. So as I said, keep your wingers on wide playmakers. You can get, as I said, you can get them on inside forwards. If you like to, you can also do one thing. Get one of your wingers on inside forward and one on a wide playmaker to mix and match. All right. I would suggest that on the, as you can see on the left hand side of the screen, Miguel Gutierrez, he's fast. Lookman, he's also fast. So what you can do is you can get Lookman as an inside forward, as Gutierrez is fast, and you can get Timothy Weah as a wide playmaker because Gatti is slow. All right, you can mix and match actually, so that's fine. All right, and the two holding midfielders, as you saw there, as soon as we won the ball from the opposition, uh, Thuram or Locatelli, in the first goal, Locatelli actually won the ball back. Then he pushed up the pitch. All right. And then he put a through pass to through lob to Kolomuani, who scored. All right. And when the opposition was on the counter, you saw that he came back to defend. Douglas Luiz, he also came back to defend. In the vanilla game, they will come back and defend. I'm playing on mods, but in the vanilla game, it will work. They will come back and defend. All right. I have tested this out in my Man United career mode that was corrupted or deleted, and it works actually without being modded. So you don't have to worry about that the deep line playmaker with a focus on build up will not come back. He will come back to defend. He will, this deep line playmaker with a focus on build up, it's actually a box to box midfielder. All right, but it's a CDM position. That's why. And the other thing, the other midfielder, Kepran Thuram, in this case, uh, keep him on a holding and defend because there has to be defensive coverage. Otherwise, you're gonna concede a lot of goals. You'll be susceptible to very fast counter attacks. All right. As you saw in the game with Slavia Prague, they were actually coming all guns blazing when we lost the ball high up the pitch. So you have to have that defensive coverage. Locatelli will run back and Thuram will stay back. And Mancini and Remar, I told you that the role defender with a focus on balance, you can actually play them as a ball playing defender. It doesn't necessarily require you to keep the role as a ball playing defender. It will push them out of position. You don't want that. All right. You don't want your defender to be out of position. And by out of position, I'm meaning that the ball playing defender with a focus on build up or just defend or anything, it will leave gaps. All right. By leaving gaps, I'm meaning that Bremer will go to the left hand side, to the right hand side, on the far left, on the far right, go to the middle, that sort of stuff. You don't want that. You want your center backs just to defend and keep him just as a defender with a balanced. All right. As it says, with a balanced focus, the defender will step up to close down attackers when needed. All right. So he will not go out of position and he will stay back. And as I told you guys, that you can actually play both your defenders as ball playing defenders. You saw on that clip there. Mancini went into the midfield and passed it to, I think, either Thuram or Gutierrez or Lookman. And Bremer, he pushed up high, went into the middle, and got tackled. But you can actually play your defenders as ball playing defenders with the role defender with a focus on balanced. All right. And as for the fullbacks, keep them on wingbacks with a focus on support. All right. It says out of position, but doesn't matter because the support focus, what it actually means is when you're in possession, he will push high up the pitch. When you're not in position, they will stay back. And if it's unbalanced, then it's the opposite thing. And by opposite, I'm meaning that he will always be forward, even when you are not in possession. He will not actually come back to defend. He will, but not like in the support focus. In the support focus, the wingback will only go forward when you have controlled possession, when you have the ball under your control. All right. So keep your wingback, fullbacks with the role wingback and support both sides. And if you're playing a center back as a fullback, just like I'm doing right here, as I don't have a right back, you can also get them to play like a Wes Brown, which is of course a fullback on balanced. They will not push up high. They will play like a defensive fullback, like a Wes Brown, like a Wan-Bissaka, like a Farlon Mendy, all those guys. They are defensive fullbacks. They are not like Danny Carvajal. They are not like Fran Garcia. They are not like Jules Koundé or even Alejandro Balde. All right. They don't go up and down the pitch. All right. They stay back. As you can see right here, when set to balance, sorry, as it says right here, a wide defender that will prioritize protecting their own goal by staying back, holding the defensive line, and offering a passing option to release pressure. All right. And the balance focus says that when set to balance, the fullback is granted more freedom to push slightly forward and wider in support of attacks. All right. If you're playing a center back who is slow, or sorry, if you're playing a center back as a fullback, then it's better to keep him as a fullback with a balanced of focus. All right. Or if you want more defensive coverage, then you can put the focus on defend. All right. There's that. And the focus of defend, it actually what we actually will do is he will form a 3-man defense. If I set Miguel Gutierrez to attacking wingback with a focus of attack, you can see right here that Gatti is actually playing as a right-sided center back. That's the fullback with defend. And that's the fullback on balanced. All right. So you can actually do a lot of things. So it's 5 players with the goalkeeper being 6 protecting the back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players on the attack. So it's balanced actually. Depending on, as I always say on my videos, depending on the players you have at your disposal, you have to set the player roles correctly. All right. And it also depends on your skill sets. As you saw that we were 2-0 up. But in my case, as I like to play with 100 high line, I'm not actually used to playing 60 high line. All right. But you can actually do a lot of things with this formation. This formation is pretty versatile, and versatile in the sense not as versatile as the 4-4-1 on midfield. Don't get me wrong. That one is the most versatile formation in FC25. But this 4-2-3-1 wide, this the versatility I'm talking about here is that the players that you have at your disposal. I don't have a right back. So I can play Gatti, who is a traditional center back, as a right back with a full back with a focus on defense. So he plays like a right-sided center back. All right. So that's the versatility of this formation. And if you play uh, Gatti as a fullback on defense, then play Timothy Weah as a wide midfielder, just like this. All right. Or you can even get him to defend. All right. So there are a lot of options, but it actually depends on the players you have at your disposal. All right. And last but not least, A Martinez. It's a modern game, so it's better to keep your goalkeeper on a sweeper keeper on balance. I also have James Trafford. He's cup tied, so sorry, he's injured, so I didn't play him. So that's that. So that was the 4-2-3-1 wide formation, guys, or formation breakdown. And heartfelt thanks to everybody who subscribed to the channel. We passed 100 subscribers a couple of days ago. We're currently on 125, and the channel it's now on almost 27,000 view mark. So huge thanks to every one of you. The support, it means a lot actually. This channel turned 3 months old on April 20th, and 125 subscribers with 27k views. And yeah, also I forgot to mention the watch hours. We are on I think 400. So yeah, it's a big milestone for a 3 month old channel. And thank you all of you wholeheartedly from the bottom of my heart. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope you can use the 4-2-3-1 to its full advantage. So that's that. This formation, by the way, and the 4-3-3 holding, somebody in my comment section said that when is the 4-3-3 holding video coming? The 4-3-3 holding video will be coming up soon. But the 4-3-3 holding video, it's so versatile in the sense that you can play it you can play just like the 4-2-3-1 wide, but it has some options that can enable you to do certain things. So watch out for that one as well, the 4-3-3 holding formation breakdown video. All right. So thank you, guys. That's it for today. Keep your friends safe, keep your family safe. Last but not least, keep yourself safe. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers and goodbye.